Well, hello. Welcome now to another Friday game night. It could be Friday, it could be Saturday. Well, one of these days of the week, you're here joining me and taking this online Bible quiz together. We have fun doing it. We just answer questions and I try to figure it out. You try to figure it out. And you guys usually do a better job than me. But this is fun. Recalling all these things in the Bible not only reminds us of the Bible, but we encourage each other that the Bible is certainly fun. All right, let's get to it. We have this week's category, which is, oh, Man of God. Man of God. We'll see what this is, because the first question I see, a man of God prophesied against whose family because his sons lay with women who came to the tabernacle. These weren't men of God. But usually the first question is easy. And go ahead and remember your answers. Keep them to memory. You can write them down because at the end we find out all the correct answers and see who did the best. So the answers to this question given are Benjamin, Eli, Naboth, or Ahab. All right, so it's Eli, right? Because he had sons that weren't too good, right? Weren't too good. Okay, next. Oh, I have to move this up so that we can see all of the question. Number two, who was the man of God that Saul went to visit while searching for his father's donkeys? Elijah, Elisha, Samuel, David. David, he went. Who was the man of God that Saul went to visit while searching for his father's donkeys? I'm thinking Samuel. Elisha and Elisha are, I believe, aren't contemporary to Saul's time. And of course, David was younger. He'd be the next king. So the educated guess is Samuel. All right, let's go on to the next question. Number three. A man of God prophesied over an altar in Bethel, and King Blank wanted to have him arrested. Jeroboam, King Saul, King David, King Solomon. A man of God prophesied over an altar in Bethel, and King Blank wanted to have him arrested. Arrested. Okay, so it looks like all the early kings, of course, um, the golden years of the kings of Israel was David, Saul, David, Solomon, and then there's Jeroboam. My guess is Jeroboam, but to have him arrested could have been Saul, Bethel. I'll guess Jeroboam. That was my first one. You already know the answer. All right, question number four. How did that man of God die after leaving Bethel? Okay, so going back to the previous question, how did he die? He was killed by thieves. He was struck by a lion. He was struck by lightning. A wall fell on him. I don't know. Um, Leaning towards two, and you could answer right now. Sometimes my talking out my reasoning badly influences yours, your answer. So you can answer now. Well, I think about this. I'm leaning towards first and second. Killed by thieves or struck by a lion. Or a wall fell on him. I don't know. In other words, I don't know. My guess, killed by thieves. All right, that's pretty hard for me. How are you doing with this quiz? What man of God restored the widow's son by stretching himself out 3 times on the child? Elijah, Elisha, Samuel, Moses. Ah, it's one of the E's. Elijah, Elisha. It's one of them. I'm for certain of that. I always get confused which one. Now, I know Elisha got a double portion and double portion of miracles, so odds are he would have it. He would be the one to do it. But Elijah, I'll guess Elijah. Question number 6. What man of God was described as a hairy man who wore a leather belt around his waist? Elijah, Elisha, Samuel, Joshua. Hairy man. It could have been Elijah. Or is it Elisha? So I have to be consistent. If the other one before was Elijah, this one should be Elisha. Okay, so question number 7. How did the man of God make this sunken axe head float? Prayed over it, poured flour into the water. He waved a stick. He threw a stick. I think we've done this quiz before, but I don't remember. It's one of the sticks. One of the sticks. Waved a stick. I think he threw a stick. I think he threw the stick into the water. That's my answer. I'm doing very bad with this quiz. Doing very bad. Question number 8. Who surrounded the man of God with horses and chariots? Syrian raiders, King Saul, Hittite raiders, or the Egyptian army? Horses and chariots. I'll say Syrian. Do you know this answer? You probably do. My guess is Syrian. Question number 9. How many times did the man of God say King Joash should have struck the ground with arrows? 1 or 2 times? 3 or 4 times? 5 or 6 times? 7 times? If you don't know, you go with what makes sense. 7, right? 7 times around Jericho. 7 lampstands, and so 7 times. Okay, question number 10. What servant of God, what servant of a man of God became leprous? What servant? Elisha, Gehazi, Nadavi, Botheba. This is hard. Servant of a man became leprous. I'll say both. Pure guess. All right. I'm ready to just go on. View our score. Okay. Not bad. I got a 30 out of 50. 30 out of 50. So that means I got 4 wrong. 4 wrong. 2 wrong. 4 wrong. So 6 out of 10. Good. Good. Majority. Majority of the questions I got right. Question number 1. Man of God prophesied against whose family, whose sons lay with women who came to the tabernacle? Eli. Question number 2. Who was the man of God that Paul went to visit? Samuel. Okay, see? Ooh, 3 questions in a row right. A man of God prophesied over an altar in Bethel, and King Jeroboam wanted to have him arrested. Okay, how did that man of God die? Wasn't struck by thieves, he was struck by a lion. Now, I did have that as my second guess, but it wasn't my first guess. All right, question number 5. What man of God restored the widow's son? Elijah. Oh, which means what man of God was described as a hairy man? Elijah. I should have got that one right. I should have, but I didn't. Question number 7. How did the man of God make the second axe head float through the stick in the water? Hey, I got that right. Who surrounded the man of God with horses and chariots, Assyrian riders? Yes, that was a guess, but I did get that right. Question number 9. How many times did the man of God say King Joash should have struck the ground with arrows? It wasn't 7. It was actually 5 or 6. So that means I need to move this because I don't have any room. Last question I did get also wrong. What servant of a man of God became leprous? Not both of the above. Gehazi. Gehazi. Well, there you have it, folks. Hey, that was actually kind of fun. It's when you challenge yourself, that's fun too, right? You don't want something so easy that just breeze right through. What's the fun in that? But the difficulty, you learn, you remember. Of course, you know that. Now I know Elijah was a hairy man with a leather belt. Well, hope you had fun. I did. And until next week, God loves you, and so do we.